Hey everybody, welcome to AD2L Season 5. We've got Don't Push up against Deluxe Nuts. Joining me today as my co-caster, is Ninja Bite. How's it going?
It's going great.
So, quickly
Very
running through
good, in fact.
quickly through the drafts. We got Void Viper banned out by Don't Push, and then Razor Invoker beside Deluxe Nuts. First pickup overall was a Tide, followed by Brew Omni Knight, and then a Skywrath Mage. Where do you think they're gonna go from here?
Reserve time.
Yeah, it's, both teams pretty team fight heavy lineups right now. Brewmaster, very difficult to fight into early game. Tidehunter, strong offlaner in general, and obviously his ult is awesome. So, for the side of, let's see, what's the next pick? Don't Push has the next pick?
10 seconds to go.
Luxnuts has the next pick. So Luxnuts probably looking to pick up either a second support, an offlaner, or some hard carry DPS, assuming the Brewmaster goes mid.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be a Brew mid at in the AD2L. It's where I see most of the Brews played. I like the Omni pickup. If he survives the Ravage and isn't silenced by the Skywrath, his Guardian Angel and Purify will save their core, whatever they decide to pick up for that, which is really good. Or it can keep the Brewmaster alive long enough to get his split off. Plus, they can always repel him and then have the Brew blink, clap, and then split.
10 seconds to go.
So, good synergy there.
And obviously the Skywrath Mage can't silence him before the split because of the repel. So as long as Omni Knight can get the correct repels on the right people and he has good positioning, he can easily turn any fights that Don't Push try to take.
Yeah, I would like to see Don't Push pick up a hero that likes to go Diffusal Blade. So I could see them going for a Naga Siren. I think that would be a really good pickup for them. Or even if they go Doom and devour one of the little white satyrs, the Purge there is really good up against Omni Knight. You can get rid of the Repel and the Guardian Angel. So one of those heroes would be good. And Deluxe Nuts actually banned out a Spectre, a hero that sometimes goes Diffusal. Silencer was also banned, so a good counter for Omni Knight. Silence goes through the Repel. Don't Push banned out the Phantom Assassin and the Slark, so getting rid of some cores that they don't want to worry about. And then they pick up Deluxe Nuts pick up a Vengeful Spirit into the Wisp, so I kind of like the Wisp choice, but I'm not sure where they're going to go with it.
We actually didn't see... Sorry.
No, it's no problem.
Yeah. I mean, generally you don't pick up a Wisp without, like the basics, a Tiny or a Gyro or even a PA, which they actually banned.
10 seconds to go.
One thing I like about... Go ahead.
Don't Push didn't choose to...
seconds.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it's interesting that Don't Push didn't choose to ban out any supports or anything. So
Reserve time.
Luxnuts basically has had their choice of supports. They can pick whatever they want, and they went right for the Omni Knight and the Vengeful Spirit, which is, Omni Knight is obviously very good. Vengeful Spirit has awesome potential with the change to Wave of Terror, since it's pure now. This was, 6.82, which is, it's not super new, but you can do stuff like stack Ancients from lane and stack 2 camps at once and stuff like that, which is really...
Not to mention, the big thing up against the Tide is it'll cancel his Blink Dagger now, if it touches him.
Oh, yeah.
So, big deal with that, so a bit of a pick.
The other thing, that's the reason.
And what you said about not having the Tiny with the IO, I don't think they need to go Tiny here. I think picking IO in the second phase...
Yeah, I wasn't saying that Tiny was the only option.
Yeah. No. For sure. But one thing, like, Tiny is an option, so is Chaos Knights as well, but Legion Commander's in the pool, Wraith King is still in the pool as well, Sven, another hero that works well.
Yeah, you're right.
But picking the IO in the second phase, the classic. Yeah, the classic with Tiny is they can Omni Knights can get picked off by the IO. Sure, he can repel himself, but if they go with somebody who picks up a Diffusal Blade, they can go on him, and they do go with the Classico. I'm not terribly surprised, but I'd like to see them go with another roamer.
Like there's a reason that Tiny IO is the most commonly known Wisp combo. It's, in my opinion, because it's probably the strongest one.
10 seconds to go.
because Tiny has the most potential, like, dish out
5 seconds.
sustained damage. Like, with Sven, if you have the IO, he's not, I mean, obviously late
Reserve
game,
time.
he's doing
10
quite a bit of damage,
seconds to
but
go.
he's not doing a ton without God Strength up.
Dire's
But
back.
Tiny
Yeah.
just deals a lot of damage constantly. So.
Mhm.
And so
The-
with Lux Nuts, we actually see three heroes that are commonly played as supports. So
Yeah. I think if it's going to be a core or anything, it'll probably be... It's either going to be a
10
mid
seconds to
Earthshaker
go.
and safe lane Brew, or it's going to be an off lane Omni Knight, I think.
5 seconds.
But
yeah,
or my guesses. I don't really like those
Reserve
options.
time.
I mean, I think mid Shaker and the safe Brew is
Yeah.
better than the off lane Omni. I've seen it a handful of times and it's never really worked
Radiant's
out.
big.
It's kind of meh.
yeah, like this is obviously not having much bearing on this game specifically, but back in like TI4, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was TI4 Ichi versus Alliance, and they did the Omni
Dire's
Knight
big.
off lane, and it didn't really work. They won the game, but it wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, he's kind of one of those offlaners if you run him like that. That's just going to get levels. He's not going to really get any farm. Probably can't really get any kills unless the other team dives him and overcommits and stuff. But Klink's the final pick up for Deluxe Nuts
Yeah,
after the
10 seconds to
Earthshaker.
go.
Oh, it's a bit of roam there. I will have to watch
So,
out.
just some basic like, yeah, basic DPS, great
Reserve
potential for
time.
pickoffs. Clinks is an all-around pretty strong hero.
And I actually really like that final
And-
pickup. Oh,
Looks like it'll be mid Magnus, safe lane Tiny, the IO,
mhm.
Tide Hunter push.
Yeah. So I'll quickly run through the.
Sure what Lux Nuts are gonna do with their lanes.
Everybody get
Yeah,
set.
I'll quickly introduce the Radiant if you want to get the dire right after. For the side of the Radiant, we've got Wongman handling the Brewmaster. Then I can't control, or I control the Spice Trade. It's going to be on the Support Venge. Ninja to Nuts is going to be on the Clinks. Earthshaker is going to be handled by BB Bloom. And then last but not least, looks like it is the offlane Omni. I can get my camera up there. Handled by... What's his name? Dirk Shizzle? Hardest part of the game, introducing the teams. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, on the side of Don't Push, we have Amok handling the Tiny. General Tao handling the Wisp. Desktop, because that name too long, I'm
30
not saying
seconds
it.
to showtime.
Desktop, Skywrath Mage, Roar on the Magnus, and Red Baron on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, desktop's
So,
name.
We see the pole camp locked very quickly.
What's with all the
Mhm.
It's interesting, to say the least.
I also noticed up top that they broke down these trees here with the tiny wisp, or the wisp did, so they'll be able to double stack those nicely from the side, and the pull throughs will be very easy for their safe
Yeah.
lane. I really like the
Absolutely.
mag
So-
pick.
And it's obviously a great combination with like the Tidehunter, because the Tidehunter can get everyone, and then the RP can get them closer for Tiny. to
All right,
just
carry on.
Yeah,
absolutely wreck them
I was liking.
if he has enough farm, obviously.
I liked the RP because it doesn't really care about Omni Knight's repel, so he can go in and he can control the repel targets.
Yeah, he goes through the repels.
And then plus ultra late game when Tiny has an Ags, he's going to be cleaving for 100% damage with repel or with the Empower, and plus Empower is plus your base damage, and Tiny has about 330 base damage. He's going to be hitting for an extra 150 once Empower's maxed on it. So
Yeah, that's actually quite scary.
I think Lux Nuts are going to be on a bit of a timer. But we'll see how the game progresses.
Yeah. They've got to end the game
Top
before
lane,
that
they're going to
Tiny
look to
gets
go on the
top.
Dirk Shizzle.
No, just harass.
Wisp got some shots off, but not... Oh, he had a DD rune, that's why it was hurting so much. It's so hard to tell what rune Wisp has. Just by looking at him.
They honestly, like, I'm not saying change like the rune effect for every hero, but they need to change it just for like Wisp.
They need to make it...
Razor. You can't tell when Razor has a DD either.
Yeah. They need to make it a little bit brighter on Wisp. Or like when he's invis, you just can't tell. No, the
Yeah.
lanes, so far Rar is
You-
doing alright mid.
If there was, well, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all fine. So they actually did deward the ward that was blocking their pole camp, so that's good for them.
Your revenge stun come out into the tide. Nice fissure block as well. They need 2 more right
Fissure block,
clicks.
yeah,
There's the last arrow. First blood goes the way of Ninja 2 Nuts. That's unfortunate for the tide.
This is exactly what they need to be doing. Like, yeah, they need to be keeping the early game aggression up, because if they let it go late, they will most likely lose.
Top lane, Dirk Shizzle's gonna get harassed back. He's gonna take some damage here, but I think he should be fine. Oh, then Io gets tossed in.
Toss.
No, wasn't in range for the avalanche and didn't have enough of a tether slow. Close though. Gotta be scary.
Yeah.
Magnus Rar seems to be handling Wongman
Top
mid.
Yes is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Top's Yester is actually Roar. He's out farming the safe lane of Luxnuts, which is not really something that you want to be happening.
Oh, we have a crash apparently. One needs a second.
Well, so yeah, pretty even so far. You know, obviously it's like the first 2 minutes, so we can't really call anything. But yeah, there's the crash.
Getting reports on Twitch that you sound like a hamster.
Stuff. I sound like a hamster?
Apparently.
Nice.
I'm just making sure that
feel
you're
good.
not quiet,
does.
but that they can actually hear you. Sounds like you got a young one
that's-
around as well. Congratulations.
Yes, yeah. That is supposed to be asleep right now.
Woke up and ran out of the room.
Yeah, I'm in a pretty big room open to the rest of my house, but pretty soon I'm gonna have some like heavy curtains that are gonna cover the door,
There you
because
go.
it's like a big archway thing. And so once that happens, I won't have nearly as much background noise for the rest of my house.
Fair enough. Well, looks like the Earthshaker has
So,
reconnected.
Reconnect.
Good to go.
There's the G.
All right, carry on.
I think Rar is going to be getting whatever he wants out of this lane. I don't think, unless Wongman really misplays, I don't think he should die in solo to the Magnus. Maybe if Magnus hits 6 before he does, as Magnus does have a bit of an XP edge. Yeah, he'll have that window there to RP, like to maybe get a Shockwave off, then RP, Skewer, and then Shockwave once more. But it'll be pretty close.
Or maybe with some support rotations or something.
But I
If you
think
can get an RP with like the Wisp and the Skyrath there.
honestly, he would only need one person to rotate in, and they'd be able to get him. Omni Knight's having a tough time up top, though. If you compare him to the Tide, who, even though the Tide died, he's still got a full level on him. So.
Yeah, it's I mean, Earthshaker has kind of been roaming around quite a bit more than the supports of Don't Push have. Like the supports of Don't Push have been more in the lane and more harassing the Omni Knight than Lux Nuts have. Okay, give me a second.
Yep. Oh, meanwhile, Red Baron's going to be getting a decent stack off here. This will be a triple stack of Ancients for him. Ron's going to continue farming up the mid lane, and Amok is going to be handling the safe lane quite handedly. 21 and 7 on him, so he's farming quite well. 900 gold in the bank towards what I assume will be probably mana boots. Could go for straight for treads depending on how he feels.
Sorry about that.
That's all good.
Are you talking about the tiny?
Yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah, he did go treads. I was just commenting that he had 1,000 gold and wondered what kind of boots he's gonna go with. With the Wisp,
Yeah.
I think is probably the best part about the Wisp Tiny is the regen. If mid lane,
Yeah.
Rar might have been able to go for a kill there, but decides not to.
Playing it safe, probably the smartest thing to do. He has a lead, he might as well not throw it away.
For sure. And when he's that close to 6 and Brew is that close, like to dying, if he gets an RP off, right clicks once, and then skewers him into another shockwave, I think that's pretty much all she wrote for the Brew. Top lane, they're gonna go on the Omniite. They get him stunned, but he just repels. Nice toss back from a Mach, actually, throwing him backwards away from his tower. And they're gonna be able to get around him. They might be able to get the kill. One more hit. There it is.
Yep.
Desktop rotating through, getting the kill with his doves.
Something about that bottom tower.
Yep. He was at the very end there. He was trying to move into the stack camp. You know, try to deny himself to neutrals, but not quite enough damage.
Bottom lane, Rar is actually rotating in. He's got RP and an Invis rune active. So we'll have to see what they want to do. But unfortunately, Shaker just pulled. So there's going to be no creeps.
See something happen here.
There's going to be no, like, it's going to be so close to the tower. It'll be quite a dive. If they see the Earthshaker, I think they could just go for him.
Yeah.
But Tide sees the pull, so they're probably going to go look for him.
And
Shaker's
they do
rotating
have a
away.
sentry ward right there.
Yeah, I don't think they had any. I don't think the creep was like had the vision to see that way, quite. But it would have been close. Either way, that Invis rune does nothing.
Oh,
And
yeah, I was saying
if
yeah,
they walked
had
back
vision,
into it, yeah.
they would've known. Yeah. So a bit of wasted time for Magnus there. Denied on the regen rune for Wong Man. It's unfortunate. There's the tears. Horse. That's great. So actually, in just the time that that Magnus was gone from that lane, Brew has managed to pull back so that he's only like 10 seats behind as opposed to like 20, which is where he was before.
Yeah, excellent play from Wongman,
So
able to catch up.
that's great for the Brew.
He's got the rest of his wand coming out, whereas Rar's got 600 gold towards his blink and his mana boots already, so he's doing pretty good. I think this Tiny's going to be a big problem, though. He's been left pretty much alone. He's got 42 CS in 7 minutes. He's going to make it 43. And he's going for drums, which I like.
I was actually surprised. Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. It's just, I was actually surprised because, you know, he was like sitting on 1k gold. And he actually could have gone for a Midas and probably had it. He could have had it, like, by now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what is it? Avalanche due to the repel. Oh! Longman dies off in the mid lane.
Magnus RP'd him, solo killed him.
Mid tower's getting banged up.
RP, solo RP onto the other mid. I think that's totally worth it. He's going to find an Invis rune and probably look to rotate. Omni is kind of out and about here. General Tao is going to see him. Not sure what they're going to want to... he's just going to repel and run away. Tide's actually doing an Ancient stack here. He's got it stacked up 3 times. Unfortunately, doesn't have that 3rd point in Anchor Smash yet, so still taking a bit of damage. But he'll be able to farm that up eventually. And suddenly Rar is only 700 gold away from his blink.
Which is not something that you want when you're Lux Nuts, because that's whenever RP's up, they can get a kill anywhere on the map, pretty much.
And I'm kind of curious as to when this Clinks
So,
is going to
like,
do
if you
stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is like if you compare the differences in like the CS, the Tiny is the one that's supposed to come online later and he's actually probably going to come online earlier just because.
Nice skewer out by Rar. He's gonna get stunned up by the Venge though. Quick kill going the way of Clinks, so I guess that's what he's gonna do.
Dies off.
3 points up in Searing Arrows and easy kill. Unfortunately, what was really funny.
Clinks Venge quite a bit in like.
They were both stealthed on top of each other right there.
Sorry, you can go.
They were both stealthed on top of each other right there, and then Magnus skewered the Earthshaker all the way through, but just missed the Clinks.
That's unfortunate.
Radiant's top
Anyway,
tower
I've been
is
saying
taking
Clinks
hits.
Venge like a lot. Because like if Clinks has a reliable disable in his lane, then there's a ton that he can do.
Yeah.
And desktop actually dying off. So again, like if Clinks can get, if you have a disable, Clinks can dish out quite a bit of DPS. Because of the, you know, the like Searing Arrows is
Guess
60
what's
mana
happening
damage,
to
so
die
every 2
bottom
attacks
tower.
is like a low level nuke.
Physical damage. It's okay.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, it's
tower
physical
is
damage.
getting the business.
Yeah.
But like damage.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean he deals as much damage as like a mid game carry.
Yeah, going for the max build early, especially at Strafe.
Well.
Those 4 seconds, it's pretty ridiculous.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why Clinks does so well in lane is because if you're stunned and he has the mana to Searing Arrows for all the strafe attacks, then you're. I'm not gonna say you're pretty much dead, but you're taking significant damage.
This Tide's actually got to watch out. Clinks, I think, saw him. Like, he knows that he's for stacking Ancients here, so if Clinks rotates through, it would get a little sketchy for Red Baron on the Tide. But I'm surprised he's not just pew-pewing this tower. They're waiting for somebody to come up, but I don't think anyone's really going to rotate. Desktop is just going to be soaking here. Actually gets swapped by the Venge and then fissured down. Quick, easy kill. That said, relocate's coming in. Oh, nice stun from the Bloom. Toss is going to go up, finishes off the Venge. They're going to chase down the Earthshaker. Looking to get the Tether Slow off on him. There it is. He gets off another stun. He's going to start TPing. He's not going to be able to make it, though. Clinks wants to finish off the Wisp, but the relocate goes out just in time. RP comes out. Rar had a haste rune. Skewers back. Doesn't have mana for Shockwave just yet. There it is. Ravage is blown as well. Shockwave to follow.
There goes the Ravage.
And that's another kill going the way of them. I think that's totally worth it. They went, what, 3 for the Skywrath, basically? So, nice play coming out from DP. Good rotation and awareness from them as a team.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the Wisp decided to...
Tiny gets a solo kill up top.
I'm not getting a solo kill.
I was watching it. He punched Omni Knight twice.
I was going to say...
The creep wave died, and then he just tossed him into the avalanche for the combo. It was pretty fun. It was like quintessential Tiny combo.
Yeah. And he already has his Ogre Club out, so gonna probably look at a quick Agnins, either that or a BKB.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, at this point, he's basically uncontested. I will be surprised if he goes BKB.
No, he's gonna go Ags. It'll do
because like it's
the farming speed.
Obviously, yeah, it'll be Ags.
And then, especially now that Rar is starting to get pointed in power.
Smoke.
They're gonna find the Tide.
From, DP. They're actually gonna find the Tide.
Get a stun off on him, and quick drop. Tiny's relocating in. Magnus is there. Excellent skewer on 3. Echo Slam counter initiation though. Tiny, they finish off the Earthshaker. They're gonna find the Venge. They get him as well. Omni Knight's trying to get out of there, but they've got an eye on him. They've got to toss in a couple seconds. They just got to keep track of him for a moment. Purification on 2.
TP's on cooldown.
Repel though. Brew has come in. Nice split coming out from him. Skywrath ulti does nothing. Rar's gonna have to skewer away. Unfortunately, doesn't have it. Blink's being put on cooldown by these Earth Pandas. He wants to get out, and I think he's going to be good. Yeah, he manages to get out. They go back in. They find the Omni Knight. Rotating through. Brew, his split's starting to wear off. Tide's there as well. Gets off an Anchor Smash. RP comes back from the Magnus, and one more toss, and there he is. Nice team fight for DP there.
Excellent fight for DP. That's one of the things you see in like some games is the heroes with big ultimates are like scared to use them because they're like, oh, if I use it, then we won't have it later. But DP has such they're really good at the game sense of like, you know, this is a good time. You know, they have this. So
Up top though, they're gonna look to go. General Tao's dropping low, saved up by the Tiny though, and looks like engagement's gonna end.
Radiant's mid tower's coming up.
Tiny's
Sorry
two
about that.
components away from an Aghanim's, and he is 300 away from the third component.
Yeah, he just needs that 1300 and will have her finished. Who's that drawing a line? I think that's Red Baron drawing a line up to the top lane. Not sure what's going on there. Rar's got a blink. RP up in 45. Ravage is up though. No blink dagger quite yet. But
DD on Ninja 2 Nuts. This tower will be dropping pretty quickly if they can get a creep wave there.
they saw the Magnus in the mid lane, and I think they got a little nervous because they know that the Tide is probably around as well. And that's probably my favorite thing about RP compared to a lot of other big AoE ultis or big crowd controlling ones. Oh, TP or blinked a little bit too far, missed the skewer.
Skewer misses.
Is it's on a fairly low cooldown, 110 at level 2, level 3 it's only 100 seconds. So compared to Ravage, I mean obviously Ravage does more damage and stuns, has a bigger area, but it's very that cooldown's very nice.
Yeah.
But
And
Tiny has an eggs. 15 minutes in.
yeah, very, very difficult to fight into. And he has the is it Immortal? I can't remember what it is. But he has the one item that they released during TF4.
Oh, the that tree that he has currently named as Tiny's dick. Fantastic.
Yes.
It's almost as bad as Sing Sing.
They have a sense of humor. Don't push.
Oh yeah.
They're like lower level Sing Sing.
Lower level. They're from Montreal,
You know,
most of them.
It's fun. It's fine.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, meanwhile, Tide, he's only about 400 away from his Blink Dagger, so getting close. Rar, he's working towards, with that Robe of the Magi, I assume it's going to be probably a set of drums, maybe a Blade Mail himself. He sees Wongman, they're juking around. Wong manages to blink away though. Tiny relocate coming in. They're going to look to take down this tower. Overcharge Tiny, and he hits pretty hard. If you use the fort, but they saw where they see where Wisp is coming back, so they're going to get the tower mid, and then they're going to have a fight on their hands. And that's a quick kill on the Wisp. Amok's got to be able to get away. Gets stunned by the Shaker.
Amok might have beat it. Oh, there's a stun. Yep, he's dead.
Good pick up there.
So good return kills for Lux Nuts.
Yeah, they lose the tower, but they get the kills on the two primary targets, maybe. But let's see what they decide to do.
Oh yeah, like it's the two primary targets because you got the Wisp and the Tiny. If it's just the Wisp, it's not worth it.
No.
But if it's like the Tiny and the Wisp, then you know you don't have that combo.
And with the pickoff, they're gonna lose that tower top probably. Wisp is TPing in, but Tiny's not gonna be up for a couple more seconds. That said, big RP comes out onto 2. Only skewers 1 though because of repel. They get the kill on the Venge. Tide blinks in. Nice Ravage onto 3 though. They pop a dust just so they can't get away. The ulti comes out from Skywrath Mage. Omni Knight dropping very low. One more tree from him. And Clinks is running away repelled. Tide's gonna have a blink anchor smash in a moment. He can do it whenever he wants. Looking for it. Oh, there it is. Actually finished off by the long range skewer. Panda Split was used on the backside though. Not able to finish anything off and dropping low himself. They get one more avalanche toss and 4 for 1. Not worth.
Red Baron might actually hold it. Nope, not quite. Blink off cooldown.
Radiant's top tower's hurt.
So very good fight for your don't push there.
No breaking down the Radiant structures like this.
And
Radiant's top tower.
if we look at this,
No, I think it was just 3 for 1.
no, it was a 4 for 1. It was they lost everybody, or everybody but the Shaker. Sorry, he was bottom. It was a 4 for 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The scary thing about
Respawn timers are also small. Like,
yeah, and the by the time it was over, there was a new combat or fight recap. There was a different one that said only Brew died, and I was like, well, that's not right. Magnus has 3 levels up and in power. Tiny's gonna be scary.
I don't really like the fight. I don't really like the fight recap.
If you can catch it when it's the big one, for like the main part of a team fight, it's kind of
Tiny's
nice.
Pretty much already scary. I mean, he's hitting for 220 at 20 minutes.
Going for the Yasha build.
That's very, very scary.
He's got a Yasha as well, so I assume he's going to follow up with a Manta.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll stick with just the man if the game isn't going the way you want it to, which obviously it's not by any means. Not go. Oh, that was a double negative. It is going exactly the way I want it to. But if it's not going the way you want it to, generally you'll wait for the Manta and you'll get like a BKB first, and then you'll go into Manta.
Yeah.
But in this case, you can just head for straight for Manta because of the.
Ooh, good RP onto 2. Only gonna skewer the. Oh, actually skewers 2 back. Unfortunately, the Brew blinked right in front of the skewer, got dragged back and killed before he could get his split off. Tiny's just gonna go ham here. Doesn't care about the repel. Gonna cleave through. 4 for 2 exchange. Toss out from the IO. They're gonna be able to follow this Venge, and I think they'll be able to pick him up in the end. And it looks like that's gonna be all she wrote. Ultra kill for a mock. Loses the Skywrath and the. They lose the Magnus and the Skywrath, but that's more than worth it.
Creating your position 2 and
Radiant's gone and fortified their structure.
Skywrath is position 5, so
Radiant's
position 2 and
mid
position
tower's
5
coming
is more than
apart.
worth it for their entire team.
Oh, for sure.
Any trade is worth it for their entire team, though. So.
Yeah, like if the Tiny and the IO live, they're losing objectives, or they're getting objectives. Sorry, like it doesn't matter. They're going to be able to go take a tower, take a lane of racks, you know, like whatever it is at the time. Oh, relocate bottom lane onto the Clinks. They're going to look to go on him. Toss up as well. He manages to go. They don't have any dust. They're going to be going back in 7 seconds, and I believe they're going. Where are they going back to? Let's see where they left. It's just in the jungle here. They're fine.
Relocate, so. Yeah. They're fine. They're with the rest of their team now, so. Nothing really happens other than relocates down for another 50 seconds or so.
Yeah.
So we could see DP go for Roche here. I mean, they don't really know. They don't have a lot of vision on the map, on the like aggressive vision. They do have quite a bit of defensive vision, like with that war, and so they have defensive vision, but they don't have a lot of knowledge of like what's happening in the enemy jungle and stuff. So it's not very safe to go for Roche, but in my opinion, that's probably the next objective they should be looking to take.
The Roshan maybe after
a Hyperstone, so you're gonna be heading into the ace.
And I think when you have that much gold, you might as well. They're not gonna be able to pick it up though. Fort with use, couple TPs. They're just gonna back. And geez, with Empower, he's hitting for over 300 right now. And it's not even maxed yet. It's got one more level. Yeah, oh, it is now. And he's got one more level of grow to get. That's ridiculous. They're gonna go for Roche. They smoked into it, and I don't believe that was in vision. This is gonna drop very quickly.
Yeah, like what I was talking about with they don't really, excuse me, they don't really know where Lux Nuts are. It doesn't matter because Roche falls so fast that before Lux Nuts even know something's up, the Roche is already pretty much half dead. By the time they can get to the pit, he's all the way dead. So, Roche gonna be picked up for Dire. Tiny takes the Aegis. As if Tiny wasn't already hard for them to kill.
Yeah, and what
kill him twice.
What I think they're gonna do with this is they'll probably sit Tiny right up on the tower or whatever they want to go for, and have the Magnus Tide sitting just a ways behind him, and the Wisp as well. And if they decide to go on him, they can just tether him and then blink blink RP Ravage to counter initiate, and they don't have to worry about it because even if they can't get in there quick enough to save him, he's just going to come back with his Aegis. So I think they're going to just bowl down this lane with the creeps and push it the entire way in. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah. Like, if you look at the graphs, like it's a 12k gold lead and a 10k XP lead. So Don't Push can basically do whatever they want, pretty much. I mean, they can't
right now. Them dire buildings are tough.
Do ridiculous things. They can't, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If they take a fight, they'll probably win it.
Off to the side, though, they found Earthshaker. They managed to clean him up with just the Skywrath and the Tide. Clinks? Who's at the push down in mid tower?
I actually relocates to try to deny to the Clinks, but doesn't quite get there in time.
And once Wisp gets back here, they're just going to look to push this. Tiny's got his AC now. They saw the Clinks there. They get him stunned up. Oh, RP, and he gets blown up really quick. Brew is starting to go down as well. Before he can get anything off, the Ravage comes out, and that's going to be 4 down as quick as you can say 4 down. And that's also a lane of racks. There's nothing. They have a buyback on the Clinks and the Venge, but Amok just going ham.
Yeah, Tiny's just unstoppable, pretty much.
At this point, it's pretty grim. They haven't used the buybacks yet, which makes me think they're probably just gonna. They're probably just talking about it. Maybe they're just gonna go call it after this, because they're gonna lose this melee racks. Probably the range too, yeah. And they still have the Aegis. And now they fort. Well, they're gonna save the range racks, but for how long? Tiny's probably just gonna go back and finish up something ridiculous like a heart. Or oh, they're actually gonna smoke. And they're gonna re-goose. They're looking to go back in. They didn't leave a ward behind, so they're not sure who's there. Magnus sees them. Oh, they missed the skewer, unfortunately. And Brew's gonna be able to blink away. But they're just gonna look to push this now. And they still have, they don't have RP.
That's full set of racks on 2 lanes.
Yeah, just as quick as that. They're gonna rotate up top, look to finish that off as well.
Up, take the T2 and yeah. Back up, take the T2, and then they can pretty much. They're very comfortable from that point. They can sit back and farm. They can push in, which is what they're gonna go for. So
I think they're just gonna look to end the game now. They're up 20,000 gold and 15,000 experience. There's no reason not to. Echo Slam comes through, but unfortunately it misses. He lands the fissure though. Bruce Split comes out. Clinks is doing a fair bit of damage. Magnus is silenced at the moment. Can't get off his RP. He's dropping very low. He's gonna be able to skewer it away. So far none down though. Looking to pursue. We're gonna have a fissure up in now. It's gonna hit the Magnus, but not gonna be able to pick him off.
Oh, Io actually
Juke Lord.
Ghost, the well-timed Ghost after.
Meanwhile, Tiny is just going ham solo. Wisp is gonna come through. No relocate used yet. Ravage is up in 7. Not able to get it off yet.
On cooldown, 5 seconds.
Tiny doesn't matter. Tiny's gonna pick up a double kill.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there goes the Earthshaker. Brewmaster's gonna follow up, I assume. There it is. They might even just Ravage for this just to finish him off. They don't need to. Tiny with a triple kill, and that's GG. Oh, celebratory RPs, and
it's a pub lesson, kids. Don't let the Tiny farm.
yeah, basically. And that's a good game well played coming out for DP. We'll be back with game number 2 coming up shortly.